Hi guys, welcome back. So today we'll be taking a look at Tesla and some of the EV stocks. So without further ado, let's first start off with Tesla. So Tesla recently had a big drop, and that is of no surprise because looking at its Fibonacci's resistance level, we are first looking at the first resistance at around 316.51. So that was a very strong resistance sometime back in July to November. That's it. Looking at its long-term support and resistance, we are looking towards a recent low or all-time low of around $1 to all-time high of around 414.50. So after this 38.2% at around 158 broke down, the next support that we're looking at is actually 23.6% around 98.59, which is around $20 away. So we are actually approaching that pretty soon. And that is also near the $100 psychological support level. So in the event that we actually break it, potentially we may trigger a lot of stop losses just below the $100 psychological level. So that is a key area to watch out for, around 90 to $110, this area here. As for the resistance, you can see that currently we are still pretty far away from the blue conversion line and red baseline, and they are currently at around 148 and around 160 levels. Let's move on to NIO. So for NIO, we seems to be trading sideways, and that's it. We are already in the cloud resistance. So on the way down, the cloud acts as a support, while on the way up, the cloud would act as a resistance. So from a recent high of around 1688 to a recent low of 838, you can see that this 61.8% again, it acted as a very strong resistance at 1363 levels. On that particular day, we actually had a fake breakout above the $14 psychological support, and then we closed open higher and closed lower. So that is not a good sign. And thereafter, we saw selling pressure downwards. So currently now the cloud is acting as a support, and also the last support that we're looking at is 38.2% at 1054. So if this 1054 support were to break down, and even the $10 psychological support, next support is 971, and potentially retesting back this 838 or recent low. As for the resistance to break out above, we're looking towards 1180, 1190 levels. If we can cross above this blue conversion line and red baseline, that will be a good sign. Let's move on to Xpeng. So for Xpeng or XPEV, once again, we're trading sideways and looking at the recent low of around 618 to recent high of 1644. Again, this 61.8% at 1252 acted as a pretty strong resistance. We did not actually close above it for 2 consecutive days. And thereafter, we saw a sideways movement of trades. So for now, 964, 882, and 781 are three supports to be watching for Xpeng. If we break down all of these supports, then potentially retesting back 618 levels. As of now, the blue conversion line is around 1030. So if you can cross back above 1030, that would be good. Lastly, let's take a look at LiAuto. So for LiAuto, we did had a rebound after breaking down this previous low. So this was like a very much like a bear trap where most of the bear turned short after breaking down this support, and thereafter we saw a swing up. So from a recent high of around $41 to a recent low of 1252, you can see that 38.2% at around 2359 was a strong resistance that we did not actually clear convincingly. So now we are looking at a pullback. So from a recent low of 1252 to a high of 2441 on this particular day here, sometime in December, we are currently at around this 50% at 1847. So if we break down that support, then we're looking toward 38.2% at 1706, which is a very critical support that we have to hold. If not, then we potentially can slide down $2 further towards $15. As of now, we're looking towards $20 as a psychological resistance. If you can clear it, then potentially retesting back 24. If not, it's likely for us to come out lower to retest this 38.2% support at around $17. So overall, most of the charts are pretty bearish, and we are looking at a potential pullbacks towards the 38.2%. In the event this 38.2% do not hold, it's likely for us to fall further towards 23.6%, even retesting the lows for these three Chinese stocks. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.